As the 2012 London Olympic Games continue into the first week and the medal tables start to fill up, there is, of course, intense interest from Chinese net users in events, particularly in which China is expected to win gold medals, such as weightlifting and diving. However, the failure of Zhou Jun, a 17-year-old lifter, to advance in the women's 53-kilogram category has caused some concern. But not just because a nervous-looking Zhou failed in her three snatch attempts at 95 kilos. There were also doubts about the tactics employed by the team officials. Possibly to reduce pressure on the inexperienced Zhou, her coaches placed her in the B group of lower-ranked lifters, even though she was among the favourites to get a medal in the event. Speaking to the media, Zhou afterwards said she didn't know what had happened and she just couldn't relax. Her failure, she becomes just the second Chinese not to win her weight class since women's weightlifting was introduced at the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, has caused plenty of discussion online. And many have questioned not only the tactics but also the system whereby Chinese athletes are selected to compete, and are asking why such a young athlete should be competing when more experienced athletes were available. Well, to find out what's being said about this, let's check in with our researcher Julia Liu in the newsroom. Okay, Julia, China's female weightlifters are nothing if not successful. They won all four categories they entered in the 2008 Games. So what have the reactions been to Zhou's performance after all these high expectations?
Well, as you say, they have a good record, and this failure has certainly made some net users disappointed. Well, this is from Sina.com saying, she failed each lift. I think it proves that she just doesn't have the ability to win. But others were more encouraging and hoped Zhou could recover from this setback. Lei Zhihen, also from Sina.com, is one of them. Zhou Jun, keep fighting. There are many setbacks on the road to the success. We believe you'll finally win gold and will always support you. And this poster, Jing Miao Juelun, also thinks that people shouldn't be so critical. Could people be more tolerant? Yes, she lost, but so what? A medal isn't everything. Why is fame so important? And this poster from Sohu.com isn't happy with the way some media covered this story, saying, it's normal to win or lose in competitive sports. Is it really necessary for some media to use the word shame when reporting this failure? Do they really want to destroy this girl? I really feel distressed about this media. They are shameless and inhumane.
Okay, we'll look at the possible reasons behind that later, but first, can you give us an idea of the response then to the success of another young athlete, a 16-year-old called Ye Shiwen. She's impressed everyone with a superb time in the individual medley swimming, which in fact at time would even have challenged Michael Phelps. What's been said about her?
Well, like Zhou Jun, Ye Shiwen is obviously getting a huge exposure, but in a good way. Her performance is especially impressive because China isn't generally so good in swimming. Well, this comment comes from Weibo.com. Ye Shiwen, you're so great. China's swimming is on the rise. And some users like Wang Xiaodong see this as a sign for the future development of swimming, saying, Ye is a genius, but in my view, if we had more swimming pools and people's physical fitness improved, then we'd find more geniuses. But others worry about her youth, since Ye is only 16. Well, this is from 163.com. It seems that Ye's path to success has been too smooth, so people have to wonder that if next time she doesn't have such a great performance, will she withstand setbacks? Many cases have proven that fame at a young age isn't always good.
Right, well, that's the other side of the coin. Turning back to weightlifting and Zhou Jun, I've heard some media pointing the finger at the selection system rather than the athlete herself. Is that something that's also being said online from net users?
Well, it is certainly discussed by some people. Some net users do believe that Chinese sports system should bear more blame. Here's Huang Jianxiang, a popular sports narrator on Weibo.com. Zhou Jun is innocent and only a pawn in the game. I think what we should really think about is the sports system that operates behind such a competition and the pattern of interests behind each selection and each possible medal. Now let me just explain what he's referring to here briefly. Although China's Sports Administration says Olympic athletes are chosen through performance in competitions held beforehand, in contrast with, say, the US, there are also other factors. And one of these is the region the athlete comes from. In fact, there were reports on Sohu.com that a weightlifter in the 48-kilogram category called Wang Mingjuan from Hunan province was selected to compete, rather than another athlete named Tian Yuan from Hubei province. But to balance this out, the selectors then chose Zhou Jun for the 53-kilogram division because the young girl was from Hubei. Well, this need to placate region's interest has many net users expressing dissatisfaction with the selection system. Like this one, YHC001 from iPhone.com. Why is China allowed to lose out just because of this system? And this poster from Jiangsu province is also angry. The system is just ridiculous. How could it be decided by region rather than performance? The athletes shouldn't bear the blame. The local government should. And then this poster from Sohu.com has this. In China, not only weightlifting, but also many other events medals are linked to local government's achievements. So the result is it's the athletes that suffer. But do the local governments care? I don't think so. Under the current system, we'll have more and more Zhou Juns in the future. Finally, a poster called Guan Zhongyun has this. I think this failure also reflects the fact that the promotion of the Olympics in China is too much related to prestige, which have resulted in this unsatisfactory situation. I really hope those involved can learn from this failure.
Well, they certainly aren't doing too badly so far. Thanks for that, Julia.